welcome back to the Next Chapter Book Club. I'm Brianna. The Next Chapter Book Club is a book club aimed towards middle grade readers. So middle grade readers are readers between the ages of 9 and 14. It is a pretty big age group, but we do try and cover everything. I thought since it is December, the last month of 2021, it would be really fun to do a 5 books in 5 minutes about the books that Novelist Plus, which is a database you can access with your library card, thinks are the best tween books, best middle grade reads of 2021. All right, and to kick it off, we're kind of going thematically a little bit, so we're starting with more realistic fiction. So our first pick is Fast Pitch by Nick Stone. So Fast Pitch is about a young girl named Shanice Lockwood, who is the captain of the Fulton Firebirds and is a legend when it comes to her love of baseball. Baseball playing goes all the way back in her family to her great-grandfather, who was nearly in the pros. She and her team are the only all-black girl team in their softball league, and they're charging their way towards the championships. But can Shanice stay focused on their games instead of a newly discovered family mystery? Her great-uncle Jack recently spilled the beans on a crime that cost her great-grandfather his career, and knowing that that crime was all a setup. You'll have to read to find out. So Fast Pitch by Nick Stone is geared for grades 5 through 8. It's pretty new, so it doesn't quite have an AR level to it yet. All right, moving along. This one is also a realistic fiction. This one is called Playing the Cards You're Dealt by Varian Johnson. This is level 4.1 and is worth 8 points. So a little bit about Playing the Cards You're Dealt. Spades is as much of a game of partnership and trust as it is about cunning and trash talk. But when the deck seems stacked against Anthony, he's forced to consider what it means to be a good card player as well as a good man. 10-year-old South Carolina native Anthony Arnold Joplin goes by Ant. But to his chagrin, however, the nickname Little Man has stuck. He's short, he gets it. But when his spades partner and best friend Jamal's constant ribbing leads even Shirley, the cute new girl from Texas, to tease Ant about his height, he starts questioning his skills, his relationships, and how his so-called best friend makes him feel. Eventually, Ant and Shirley hit it off, despite Ant's being too shy to admit it. But issues in the Joplin household and Jamal's own volatility in their friendship put a lot of stress on this budding relationship between Ant and Shirley. All right, so now we're kind of taking a little bit of a turn here into kind of a fantasy science fiction. This one is called The Last Cuentista, and this one is by Donna, Barba, Higuera. It also is very, very new, so it is for grades 5 through 12. It doesn't quite have an AR level to it yet. The Last Cuentista takes place in the year 2061. A solar flare has altered the course of Halley's Comet, putting Earth and its inhabitants right in its trajectory. 12-year-old Petra Pina, a resourceful preteen who longs to follow in her Cuentista grandmother's footsteps and tell stories for a living, successfully boards one of the last ships off-world, as do members of a dangerous cult-like group called the Collective. When Petra awakens centuries later at the ship's destination, she quickly realizes that the Collective has wiped the memories or lives of her fellow passengers, and she must use her wits and her knowledge to protect the remaining humans and avoid the same fate. All right, so now we're going towards the older end of the middle grade audience. So the next one we have is called Instructions for Dancing, and this is by Nicola Yoon. This is for grades 7 through 12. High school senior Evie used to believe in love, with romance novels being her favorite genre. But ever since her parents' divorce, she's given up on love in real life as well as love in books. When she goes to donate these novels to a little free library, she winds up with a book called Instructions for Dancing. This book leads her to a ballroom dance studio and to an intriguing boy named X. His open heart, adventurous spirit, and personal philosophy to say yes to everything is the opposite of Evie's cynicism. Soon the pair are preparing for a ballroom dance competition, with their rehearsals slowly breaking down Evie's emotional walls. Will Evie find love in real life? You'll have to read to find out. All right, and our last 5 books in 5 minutes book is White Smoke by Tiffany D. Jackson. This one is definitely on the older end of the middle grade reads and is for grades 8 through 12. A family already at odds tries to survive the whims of a haunted house. Anxiety-ridden Mari tries to start anew when her family leaves California and moves into a newly renovated home in the Midwestern town of Cedarville. She's relocating with her brother Sammy, stepsister Piper, stepfather Alec, and her mother, whose acceptance into a 3-year artist residency allows them to stay rent-free in a new house that looks perfect on the outside. However, certain things ring alarm bells. A basement they're instructed never to enter, construction workers who refuse to stay in the house past the afternoon, and the stories circulating around the neighborhood about what happened there. As Mari unravels the mysteries around her, she must try to avoid relapsing into bad habits, contain her dizzying trauma-born phobia of bed bugs, and avoid the wrath of entities who wish her harm. All right, so those are 5 of the best books for middle grade readers recommended by Novelist Plus. So one more time just to go over the ones that we talked about. We have Fast Pitch by Nick Stone, Playing the Cards You're Dealt by Varian Johnson, The Last Cuentista by Donna, Barba, Higuera, Instructions for Dancing by Nicola, Yoon, and White Smoke by Tiffany D. Jackson. All right, I hope you enjoyed this Next Chapter Book Club with our 5 books in 5 minutes. And I will see you again in the new year, January, for something new. All right, thank you for watching.